Hello everyone, I Dr. Anchal Rastogi welcome you back to my another lecture on Introduction to Marketing, Unit 1. Before starting for today, let us have a quick recap of all what we have done in my previous lecture. We studied about concept of market, where we talked about physical market and digital market, both. Then we talked about consumer market and industrial market. In consumer market, we talked about FMCG market, types of consumer goods we talked about, which is FMCG goods and consumer durable goods. Then we talked about industrial market, business to business market, that is. Then we talked about difference between selling and marketing, how selling differs from marketing. We discussed marketing is not only selling, it is not only advertising, it is much more than mere selling and advertising. Then in my previous lecture we also talked about what is marketing mix as given by McCarthy. We talked about 4 P's of marketing. We also talked about 7 P's of service marketing. Those 4 P's that we talked about were product, price, place and promotion. The 7 P's that we talked about, the 4 remain same: product, price, place, promotion, and 3 other were people, process and physical evidence. Now, what today we will be talking about is, we will be talking our today's agenda. We will be discussing about market measurement and forecasting. We'll be talking about market measurement and forecasting. So, what is market that is being discussed in our previous lecture? So, how we will be measuring this market? There are certain criteria, there are certain terminologies which will determine how we manage how we measure this market. Then the forecasting. When we talk about market forecasting or demand forecasting or sales forecasting, we will be talking about what is forecasting. Now, when we say forecasting, forecasting is to foresee something, to predict something, predict about future. Now, future is uncertain. Future is uncertain, and there are many environmental forces that makes this future uncertain. For example, if we talk about today's scenario of COVID-19, I hope nobody must have thought about these lockdowns, about this economy coming to a stop, people staying at home since long. The companies may also not have thought about how if certain things happen, how and which strategy they will be taking to deal with these kinds of scenario that is unforeseen. But definitely this will help us in having a new learning about the various marketing and other management strategies. So we say forecasting is rather a difficult process because it is to foresee something, it is to predict future which is uncertain. Now, let us talk about the terminology, certain terms used in sales forecasting. There are certain terms that we use in sales forecasting. market measurement and as well as sales forecasting. First is market potential. First is market potential. Now, what is market potential? We have studied what is market. Market is where a seller and buyer comes to make an exchange, where potential buyers exist. Okay, market place where the physical place or digital place where the exchange happens. So, exchange means product is exchanged for price, value is delivered to customer, company gets money in return, it generates revenue and profit. The objectives of both company and customers could be met out accordingly. So when we are talking about market potential, this is what we talked about market. When we are talking about market potential, so it is the total market potential is the total possible sales expected by all the firms selling same product in a given market, assuming that the ideal marketing efforts are made. So, when we talk about market potential, it is the total possible sales that is expected by all the firms selling same product and assuming that ideal marketing efforts are made by all. Now, let us understand this with the help of an example. If you are talking about a product, take any product like electronic bikes. Now, if there are three companies X, Y, and Z that are dealing with electronic bikes, three companies which are dealing with electronic bikes in a given market or in a given country, then what will be the market potential? For example, the expected sales of X plus Y plus Z will give you market potential. That is, expected sales of company X, Y and Z will give you market potential under ideal marketing condition. So, it refers to entire size of market for a product at a specific time. It refers to entire size of market. For example, in product is electronic bike. So entire size of market, whole size of market for an electronic bike will be referred to market potential for that specific time. Now, let us talk about second term, that is company potential. Now, when we are talking about company potential, this means company potential is a part of market potential. It is a part of market potential. The maximum expected sales that individual company, for example, if we say individual company as X, this one. So maximum expected sales by company X under ideal marketing conditions, maximum expected sale by company X under ideal marketing condition will be the company potential. Now, this is the maximum sales that X could achieve under ideal marketing conditions. So, this is called company potential If there are three companies, for example, X, Y, Z, the summation of all will be the market potential. So company potential is a part of market potential, where it is the maximum expected sales by a company under ideal conditions, ideal marketing effort for a given time. Then next is market demand. Third term is market demand. Now, we talked about what is demand. Demand is coming from the market. The people want to purchase our product. Look, now this, what is market demand? We have market potential. These are the expected sales which a company could have. We have company potential, which is expected sales by company X, for example. Now, when we are talking about market demand, it is the portion of market potential that is achievable with existing condition. It is the portion of market potential that could be achieved with existing conditions. Existing conditions could be environmental conditions, it could be about the company's existing conditions, or it could be about the economical conditions, it could be any. So market demand is the portion of market potential that is available, that is achievable under existing conditions, that is achievable under existing conditions. For example, if expected sales for all this could be 5,000 units. Now, it could be company X is having an expected potential of say 1,000 units. Then market demand could be anything from ranging from 5,000 units to less than that. So, but it could not be more than 5,000. So market demand could be some, for example, take with an existing condition, it could be say 4,500 people are ready to purchase our product. So this will be the market demand. Now, what is company demand? What is company demand? And this market demand is for all companies X plus Y plus Z. Now when we are talking about the company demand, it is a portion of the company potential that is achievable under existing condition. Here we were talking about ideal marketing efforts made. Here we are talking about under existing conditions. For example, for a company X, it could be 800 units. It could be 800 units for company X. Take an example of that. Now, when we are talking about, we discussed about market potential, we discussed about company potential, we discussed about market demand, we discussed about company demand. Now, next term is market forecast. Before market forecast, let us talk about one more term, that is market share, that could be achieved from here. Market demand and company demand. If, for example, if company demand is 800 units, market demand is for say 4,500 units, then market share will be the company demand upon total market demand. Could be company demand upon total market demand, that is 800 upon 4,500, and in terms of percentage it is multiplied by 100. So here we could get what is the market share of a particular company. So, it could be considered in terms of percentage. It will be coming somewhere around somewhere around 17 point something percentage. So it will be like this. So this is what the company market share, this is how market share could be calculated from company demand and market demand. Now when we are talking about market forecast, that was market potential, that was company potential, market demand, company demand. Now market forecast, predicting about the market. Now market forecast refers to market demand. It refers to market demand which will materialize with the level of marketing effort the industry puts in a given period of time. It is the portion of market demand that will be materialized. It was under existing condition. Now if there is the company puts in certain marketing effort, so it will be the portion of this market demand that will materialize with the existing with the level of marketing effort industry puts in. So it will be market forecast. Now when another terminology is company forecast. Now when we are talking about company forecast is what? It refers to portion of company demand. Company forecast refers to the portion of company demand that will materialize with chosen marketing efforts a company puts in. So how much marketing efforts the company puts in and how much with those marketing effort it is able to achieve the company's demand is called company forecast. So it refers to portion of companies, it refers to portion of company demand that which will materialize with chosen marketing effort. Now we talked about forecasting. So this company forecasting, market forecasting, okay, when we were talking about these are the unpredicted things. Forecasting is unpredicted, but by this we could reduce the risk of over prediction, or we could reduce the risk of false prediction by making use of these terms, by following these terms. So if we are talking about demand forecasting or sales forecasting, it is one of the critical element for market planning. Demand forecasting is one of critical element of market planning, and managers need to have more accurate demand forecasting. So when we are talking about demand forecasting and sales forecasting, we say why it is difficult, because first is future is not known with certainty, future is unknown, we could not be certain about future. Then future will be different from what it is now, future will be different from what it is now, definitely, and future will also be different from what we expect to be. So it will also be different from what we expect to be. So that is why we say demand forecasting is a rather difficult process, but it has to be done because it is an integral part of market planning. Now next we will be coming to the characteristic of market demand Now, what is the characteristic of market demand? What is the characteristic of market demand? It is, market demand is always dynamic. It is always dynamic. It is not fixed. It will always be changing, and it will be stimulated with marketing efforts. It could be stimulated with marketing efforts. So we could have more marketing activities done to stimulate this market demand. When we let us talk about sources of market demand, or sources or inputs or demand forecasting. What is sources of demand forecasting? First, it is information from marketing department. We have various sales force, we have various sales volume reports, we have past sales results, on the basis of which we could get the required information from marketing department. Then we could have a source from secondary data. It could be from government agencies, it could be from trade data, CIIs and etc. If various trade organizations are releasing those data, we could have the inputs from there. Then we could also have sources from within the organization. For example, official records of the organization. We could see the purchase done by the records of the purchase department, and so on and so forth. So this is how we could get the sources of demand forecasting. Now, when we talk about now this market demand could be measured in two ways. For measuring market demand, we need to know we need to have current market demand and we need to have future market demand. So for measuring market demand, firm needs to assess current market demand and firm needs to assess future market demand. So current market demand will give you what at present it is, and future could be forecasted accordingly. So it could be current market demand in totality of the company and current market demand for a particular area. So current market demand could be also for total demand, or it could be based on a particular area demand. It could be like this. Now, next we will be talking about methods of sales forecasting. What are the different methods of sales forecasting? First is jury method. Who are the jury? We are the judges. These are the panel of judges. So jury method or executive opinion method. In this method, sales forecasting is done when the opinion of the concerned jury or opinion of the concerned executive or managers in the organizations are being assembled. They assemble and discuss their opinion about the sales, what will be sales in future. So in jury method, the panel of judges or the executives or the concerned managers, they will be assembling and they will be assessing their opinion. They will be sharing, they are discussing their opinion about the sales that will be there in future. Then there is a Delphi method. Another method is Delphi method. What is Delphi method? It is the forecasting method. It is a forecasting method which is systematic. It is interactive forecasting method which relies on the panel of their experts. So it relies on the panel of experts. It is a systematic and interactive method of forecasting. Next is Salesforce composite method. Salesforce composite method. What is Salesforce composite method? In this, companies, for example, let us consider a company is having various sales agents working in their territories. So now each the sales forecast of each sales agent or salesman from the particular territory is being determined, and it is being added to find out overall sales forecasting of the company. So the forecast of individual sales agent of their territory is being determined, and the number of sales agents, the forecast of the number of sales agents have been added up to find the overall company's sales forecasting. Then fourth is end use method. End user method. Who are the end users of the company? End use method or end user method. Who are the end user of the company? Are the customers. Now in this method, we ask the customers what will be about their purchase intention and about their purchase pattern in future. On the basis of that, we determine the overall sales forecast of the company. Then next is market share method. In this method, the company's forecast or the forecast for a particular company could be determined if we know market share and the industry demand. So company demand could be calculated by multiplying the company's market share with the total market demand. Next, we have test marketing method. It is normally when a new product is launched, we will be launching these product into certain set territories or certain cities or regions. We will be studying what will be the demand coming for this new product from these regions, and accordingly we will be generalizing the demand on the larger scale for the particular company. Then next is your statistical and analytical method. There are various statistical and analytical tools that are available, like single projection method, exponential smoothing, moving average, and all that. We will be making these statistical and analytical method make use could have anyone can use any one of these methods like exponential smoothing, like moving average, simple projection and all, to find out overall sales forecasting of a particular company or for a particular product. Then we will be talking about forecasting approach. In forecasting approach, first we talk about top-bottom approach, top-down approach. When we are talking about top-down approach, this means that the inputs here in top-down approach, we will be getting inputs from microenvironment. We will be getting inputs from macro environment. Now, based on those inputs from macro environment, external macro environment, the sales forecast will be done. Sales forecast will be done by top management. Sales forecast will be done by top management. Then the forecast will be for, based on the overall forecast for top management, forecast will be for particular zones. Then forecast will be for regions. For example, if India is divided into 5 zones, east, west, north, south and central, each zone will be having certain regions, and the forecast will be for particular regions. Then forecast for each region will be divided into certain territories. So then it will be forecast for territories, and last it will be the forecast for a particular salesman. So it is top-down approach, and another approach is bottom-up approach. Another approach is bottom-up approach. In this, the forecast done by a salesman for his territory is being determined. Then there will be various salesmen for a particular territory. Then on the basis of that, then forecast by different territories is being determined. On the basis of different territories, we get forecast for different region. Forecast by regions. On the basis of forecast by region, we get forecast by zones, and on the basis of zones, overall demand forecast of the company is calculated. So overall forecast for a company is generated. So here a salesman, he will be having a forecast for his own territory. Then all the cumulative of all these salesmen, we will be getting the forecast by different territories. Then on the cumulative of different territories, it will be getting regions. So in a nutshell, for bottom-up approach, the forecasting done by a salesman for his different territories is sound to find his forecasting by different territories. Then these territories, on the basis of these territories, the forecast done by regions will be there. Then based on the forecast by region, we will be getting forecast by zones, and based on forecast by zone, we will be getting forecast for a particular company. So this is how sales forecasting for a company could be achieved by bottom-up approach. So we have studied the two approaches. One is top-down approach and another is bottom-up approach as a forecasting approach. So this is the end for today's discussion. We will be meeting with other discussions on the topic of Unit 1 in my next lecture. And if you are having a problem, you could share your problem in this video. Fine. Thank you.